Friday afternoon. Heavy rain poured across Jackson, Mississippi, while customers packed into First Heritage Bank. Phones ringing, printers humming, people waiting impatiently. Near the front desk stood 67-year-old Samuel Reed, a quiet black Army veteran. Gray beard, pressed coat, hands trembling slightly from old injuries. Everybody in his neighborhood respected Samuel. He fixed broken fences for widows, delivered groceries to sick veterans, never asked for attention. Today, he only came to cash a check. Money for medical treatment. Samuel stepped carefully toward the counter. Samuel, afternoon, ma'am. The teller smiled politely, but before she could respond, bank manager Karen Whitmore, white, early 50s, walked over fast. Suspicious expression, cold eyes. She glanced at Samuel, then at the check. Suddenly, her tone changed. Karen, where did you get this? The room grew quiet. Samuel blinked. Samuel, excuse me? Karen folded her arms. Louder now. Karen, this amount doesn't look right. People turned. Phones slowly lifted. Samuel, it's my veteran benefits. Karen shook her head. Karen, sir. People fake checks every day. Gasped. Samuel stood frozen, humiliated. Samuel, you accusing me of fraud? Karen leaned closer. Karen, I'm protecting this bank. Then, she nodded toward security and quietly dialed police. 10 minutes later, 2 officers walked in. Without asking questions, one reached toward Samuel's arm. Officer, sir, come with us. That's when a young black teller hit record, whispering, Teller, this don't feel right. Within minutes, the video spread online, but nobody knew the biggest twist. Karen had no idea. Samuel once saved someone she loved most, and by nightfall, the entire city would know. At County Holding, Samuel sat quietly. No lawyer, no explanation, no dignity, just fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, rain tapping against steel windows, his medical papers still folded inside his coat pocket. Meanwhile, outside First Heritage Bank, the live stream exploded. Comments flooded in. That man is a veteran. Why they always assume fraud? Free Mr. Reed. Church groups reposted the footage. Veteran pages shared it. Neighbors flooded Facebook. Then, everything changed. Karen Whitmore sat in her office watching local news. Annoyed, defensive, until her phone rang. Karen, what? Silence. Then her older brother spoke. Voice shaking. Brother. Karen. Pause. Brother. You arrested Samuel Reed? Karen frowned. Karen, how do you know him? Long silence. Then, the words hit like thunder. Brother. 23 years ago. His voice cracked. Brother. Dad would have died without him. Karen froze, because she remembered their father. A terrible highway crash during a storm. Doctors said a stranger pulled him from a burning truck. Stayed with him until help came. Then disappeared. Never wanted praise. Never took money. Karen whispered. Karen, what was his name? Her brother answered softly. Brother. Samuel Reed. Back at the station, a young officer quietly reviewed Samuel's check. Legitimate. Every dollar. Then, he checked body cam footage. No resistance. No crime. Nothing. Yet Samuel remained locked up. Outside, the crowd kept growing. Veterans began arriving. In uniforms, holding American flags. And by sunset, news vans filled the street. But what happened next? Nobody expected. Rain poured harder. Still, nobody left. Outside the police station, over 500 people packed the sidewalk. Veterans, church members, neighbors, people holding signs. Honor our heroes. Justice for Samuel. Some prayed, others cried. One elderly veteran stepped toward cameras. Voice trembling. Veteran. That man fought for this country. He pointed toward the station. Veteran. And y'all put him in cuffs? The crowd erupted. Then, Karen arrived. stepping from her SUV, pale, shaking. The crowd booed instantly, phones recording everywhere. But Karen wasn't looking at cameras. She looked broken, because in her hands, she held an old photograph. Her father, standing beside firefighters. And in the background, Samuel, younger, covered in soot. Karen's eyes filled with tears. Inside, station doors opened. Samuel stepped out slowly, tired, embarrassed, still holding his medical papers. Then, he froze. Hundreds cheering, flags waving, veterans saluting him. Karen walked forward carefully, voice shaking. Karen, Mr. Reed. Silence. She looked down. Karen, you saved my daddy. Gasp spread. Karen started crying. Karen, and I treated you like a criminal. The entire crowd went silent. Samuel looked at her for a long moment, rain falling between them. Then softly, Samuel, pain don't excuse disrespect. Karen nodded, ashamed. But Samuel wasn't finished. And what he said next changed the city forever. Samuel stepped toward the crowd, tired, humiliated, but calm. Microphones surrounded him, cameras flashing. Still, his voice stayed soft. Samuel, you know what hurts most? Silence. Rain dripping from jackets. Samuel, it ain't the cuffs. Pause. Samuel, it's how quick folks assume the worst when they see somebody who looked like me. Even officers lowered their eyes. Samuel turned toward Karen. Samuel, you forgot something important. Karen wiped tears. Samuel, what somebody wears. He pointed to his chest. Samuel, don't tell you their story. The crowd applauded. Then, unexpectedly, Samuel did something nobody saw coming. He offered Karen his hand. Gasped. Samuel, learn from this. Karen cried harder. Weeks later, Karen resigned. The bank launched anti-bias training. Police changed fraud response procedures. And Samuel? The city honored him publicly. Final scene. Samuel sitting quietly on his porch, watching neighborhood kids play. One little boy smiled. Boy, you a hero? Samuel chuckled softly. Samuel, just somebody who tried to do right.